die. Is it quick, incinerating flash of an explosion? Or nice, slow burn?
What we're showing here at PAX is we are showing Firefly at the Pioneer's Bridge. He is the newest assassin we've revealed, and he has taken a large number of hostages and collected a large number of explosive and incendiary devices and seeded them around the bridge location. The police have formed a perimeter around there. Captain James Gordon is securing that perimeter. He's running security there, and Batman has sneaked in and run through that perimeter because Firefly's done all this to bring Batman to face him because he wants to kill him to collect the $50 million prize. Batman's kind of an urban myth to a lot of these guys. They're not sure if he exists. Some people know he exists because he's met them, and they don't look fondly back on that memory of having met him. You'll see Batman depicted as kind of more of a scary monster in our game at times, rather than a guy who's known to people and they address him as Batman. That's not very common. So he's kind of a scary figure who explodes out of the shadows, and people react with fear and awe when he does, and confirm that he's real. As far as the police go, if he's real, he's a vigilante. That makes him an outlaw and someone who needs to be arrested. And as far as Gordon goes, Gordon believes he's the reason all this craziness has erupted tonight, and if he just turned himself in, it would be better for everyone.
Are you serious?
Well, some people get very hung up on the idea that the gadgets that he has in the other games are the only gadgets he's ever had and could have had, and it's not like Batman has a rotating arsenal, right? He doesn't always have the same things with him. Think of a James Bond movie. It's part of the IP. These characters get different gadgets, they get different gear that they need for the problem. And in many core Batman stories, Batman invents, or at least kind of kitbashes gadgets that he needs to defeat the villains that he's facing at that particular moment. So Batman will acquire gadgets through our story which are appropriate for the challenges that he faces in Arkham Origins. Alfred is actually a character that you'll see more of in this game than you've seen of anyone else on the radio back home, so to speak. You can actually go back to the Batcave. You'll see Alfred there. You can talk to him. You'll get reflections on him based on what's happened in the story so far. You can get advice from him for what to do for the future. And so it's we're really happy to be exploring that relationship a little bit more deeply than we've seen in the previous games. In game development, you have a certain amount of resources you get to apply, and you make what you think is right for the game with what you've got. So for this game, Batman has the Batwing. He has a fast travel system to deal with this bigger, larger open world. The world is big enough that we felt we needed to add a fast travel system to let the player get to where he wants to get without, I guess, feeling like maybe it's a bit of a trudge, because the world is now it's more than twice as big as you saw in Arkham City. He won't have the Batmobile in this game. I think that what we used as a yardstick for selecting our characters for this game would be we're a prequel, and we've rewound the game several years before what you saw in Arkham Asylum or City. So by choosing, looking at what characters we could choose from, we looked at who would be interesting in that setting, who would be interesting if we took years off them, who we would really like to see more of, who would perhaps be refreshed by going back to this kind of early formative and transformative tale for Batman. So that was really what informed, I guess, our story needs. And then secondly, there's also the mechanical needs. You need a cast that's diverse. You need a cast that looks, sounds, and plays diverse. So you can't have, a roster of 8 6-foot guys who punch really well. Like it's just not going to be an interesting diverse group. But you see something like Firefly, there's a whole suggestion of gameplay that you get from Firefly that you wouldn't get from Bane. But Bane's interesting for gameplay for a completely different reason. So it's really narrative and gameplay. Who fills the cracks that we need to fill? Who fills those roles? And do they offer enough diversity among them as a group? That's how we chose the characters for Arkham Origins. Each of the bosses that we've created for the game and the new character archetypes we have tie in very closely to the different gadgets that we unlock and the order in which we unlock them. We definitely unlock gadgets and acquire abilities and learn new techniques when they're about to be required, and then we train up the player in using them. We've tried to make sure that each of the bosses that we have in the game have some sort of mechanical tie like that to the core abilities, so we should be challenging the player with the abilities he's been playing the game with, rather than inventing new ways to play when the player arrives at a boss.
Firefly will pay for this.
Batman Arkham Origins is coming out on October 25th worldwide. It's coming out on PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U and PC. And there's also Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate on the PlayStation Vita and 3DS.